Been a lot of studies done on the importance of, getting up in the morning and watching her pop her head up, get that in your face. The importance of it. The problem is, guys like me, I want to see her come up, and I want to see the moon come up, and I want to see it go down, and somewhere in the middle of all that, you're supposed to sleep. I've been up for several hours. Just come out of the woods down there working. I'm walking back up here to my truck. Got a picked cornfield right here that was picked a couple months ago, and over there I got a cotton field that's probably going to be picked this week. A little cool for me this morning. 65. That's a little cool for me. I had to put on a sweatshirt. Got a hell of a little breeze going, but absolutely, inspirationally beautiful day. Just like you can just feel your blood pumping. So I got my phone out and I looked at some things that I either want to write about or do a video on. And the one that hit me the most, because I'm walking back to the truck from working down here in the woods, is several months ago. One of the youngest boys, baseball coaches. He's got a couple coaches because he's kind of like on two different teams. This coach told me a story, and never really thought about it. So he told me that this college recruiter came to watch one of his players, I don't know, a couple years ago, and the kid was nervous because he knows this is a college recruiter coming to look at him, and he's like, checking him out. And so the kid goes up there, and he literally chokes. I think he struck out every time he was at bat, and walked back to the dugout. That was it. So the coach is talking to the college recruiter, and he says to him, he says, "Hey man," he said, you know, the kid can hit. His stats are good. He's a good ball player, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And the college recruiter, looked at him and said, "I didn't come here to watch him hit. I didn't come here to watch him play in the field, all the above." He's like, "Well, what'd you come here for?" He said, "I come here to watch him walk back to the dugout, to see how they react when it doesn't work out like they think it should, or what they anticipate, or what they want. It's that walk back to the dugout that tells me, is that a player I want?" And man, it hit me hard because I was like, wow, think about that. Think about that's what he's looking for. Does the kid walk back to the dugout and throw his bat? Does he cuss? Does he kick the dirt? Is his head high? Is his head low? That's what he's looking for. And I would think, well, no, he's looking for how well the kid can hit, how well he can field, whatever. And he's looking on how he handles failure, basically. And that's one of the things I learned from a good friend of mine. And then my son also knows it, and I guess it's a common theme in baseball, and I don't know nothing about baseball, but it's a game of failure, because the failure rate is tremendous. It's not always a win. It's not always a win. Which where you could see that the game of baseball and maybe other games that our youth are involved in are instrumental in their preparation for life. That you are going to fail, but that's okay. You're not always going to get a trophy. You're not always going to win, all the above. And so I see it in my world of karate. You're not always going to get the point. You're not always going to make that perfect, kick or punch. You're not always going to make the perfect block. But how do you handle it when it doesn't work out like you want it to? And that's life. So as I was walking back to the truck from working, what I did down there, it worked out okay, kind of like I thought it would. But I always have that walk back to the truck where I reflect on the events of the morning and what could I have done differently 3 hours ago when I was loading the truck, and I'm trying to wake up, and I got my baby there, And she's looking at me like, hey, can I go? And I'm like, well, I'm not really going to be gone that long. I'll be back. I mean, all of that goes through my head as I'm walking back to that truck, you know, and did I do good? Did I do it right? Did it turn out like I thought it would? Man, that's the video. Maybe it'll be like a big hit because it's short, it's not long, it's not super deep. But, you know, the evaluation is what it is. It's the evaluation of the walk back. It wasn't the success. You know, I would love to meet the college recruiter. Don't know him, probably never will meet him. But that's what he's looking for. Because he said, he told the coach, I can work with all that other stuff. I just need to see how he reacts to the failure. And there's always so much focus on the success and not the failure. And we recently did a video on the negative and the positive with the battery. And my good friend Mario, the Cuban guy, who I don't understand at least a quarter of what he says, you know, really liked the video. Told me he thought it was one of the best ones we've ever done, you know. And so, that's what I got. I'm going to buzz you around. I want you to see her coming up. She's not here yet, but she's on her way. And, you know, I might give you a little shot of that cotton field because that's pretty cool. And you can hear the cows bawling in the background. Got a pretty decent sized cattle farm up here, and they always raise hell at me when I'm down here working. And then kind of show you this corn. Kind of been worked over. But that's what I got. So up there is the cattle farm. And there's where our girl's coming from. Then you can see we got some planted pines. And there's a little bit of corn left over here for, actually that's for hunting. Not for me, but for somebody else. And then over there, which you can see the cotton, but I'll walk up that direction to give you a buzz of that. Well, there's the cotton. You can see it over there. Try to zoom in on all them buzzards. That's a bunch of buzzards. Buzzards gotta eat too. But it ain't quite ready to be picked. Probably by the end of the week it'll get picked once these leaves come off. So as you can see, she's coming up there in the background. We're about ready to wrap up here, back down in the woods, and then head to the house. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. You know, kind of think about that walk back after the failure. I think that's where probably there's a lot of observation goes on, not just from human beings, but from other things that are watching to see how we handle that failure. I just thought that was kind of cool. I had the pleasure yesterday of spending a good portion of the day with a 74-year-old Marine. And the old saying, once a Marine, always a Marine. And we've been trying to get it together for probably about 3 weeks now. And I'm busy and feel kind of bad about that. He knows I'm busy and he's very understanding. So much wisdom can be gained and learned from the people older than us. And, you know, they remember being young and in a hurry and trying to get things done. And throughout the course of the day, I could tell that he was like, I know you're busy, you know, if you got a minute for this. And a lot of wisdom. You know, one bad knee, one knee's been replaced. He's got some lung issues from his active duty time. Got another issue. I mean, he's kind of like walking on thin ice, but he's still walking. And it was just really a really neat thing to spend time like that. And I say it all the time in a lot of videos, you know, these older people, and I'm getting there, you know, you don't gain wisdom by living that perfect cookie cutter life. It's by the ups and downs, the peaks and the valleys, the failures, the successes. You know, take the time to listen to them. That's all I can say. I try to do that as much as I can. And then it's very rewarding when you get to that point in your life to do the tiniest, simplest thing for them, and it's huge. Just taking the trash out, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. I see it in my own mother. The smallest, tiniest thing is huge to them because they can't do it, and they want to do it, and they don't want to ask for help. So that's my little deep side of this video about the walk back from the dugout. You can see her. She's like right there. Capture her, man. Spread the love, not the hate. And I didn't eat before I left the house, and I didn't stretch before I left the house. So my belly's growling, and I got to wrap up here, and then we're going to put it in the wind. And y'all have a great day. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Love the feedback. Seen some comments on YouTube, so hey, thank you for those comments. We really appreciate it. We really do. And if you like it, share the video, and you know, maybe we can try to change some of these patterns that form out there with all the bad energy and the bad junk, man, because it's hopefully a video like this starts your day off and you feel positive and you feel good, and then you spread the love and not the hate. So with that being said, I'm going to hit the big red button because I got to put it in the wind. Oh yeah, I forgot. Who am I today? I got to say it, man. I am the guy that is so glad I took the time yesterday to hook up with that old Marine. I know he didn't think I got anything out of it other than I was in a hurry and I helped him a little bit, but I got a lot out of it, a ton. I wish I'd have done it sooner. It just, that's the guy I am today. I'm glad I took that time, you know. You know, a Marine's got to take care of a Marine, but even if they're not a Marine, we got to take care of our people that are getting up there in age and suck up that wisdom. So that's who I am today. And I am going to hit the big red button.